And good morning and welcome to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing. I am Trenton Magid. The voice you're usually hearing at the beginning of the show is Jeff Beals, and Jeff Beals is on assignment, so he is spending time with his family, which is admirable. However, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to welcome back to the show my good friend, Dave Fanslau. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Trenton.
Dave is a man with many hats and many jobs. And Dave is the Omaha planning director. And on top of that, he has been with the Omaha Planning Department for 33 years.
It'll be 34 in December. Yeah.
Holy moly. And within the last couple of years, you ran and made it on the Papillion City Council.
I did, yeah. I was elected to Papillion last November.
How many people did you run against?
Well, there were 4 in the primary. Well, 3. Okay. I ran against 3 in the primary.
Excellent. Well, that's impressive.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And you've lived in Papillion for 25 years?
Yeah, about 20, almost 28 now. Yeah.
So we appreciate your service, and I served on the Omaha Planning Board from 2014 to 2019, and it was fun working with you and your staff and the city, and it was an honor to serve, and we appreciate everything you do for the city of Omaha, the city of Papillion, and the community.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's go back. I'll jump in, I guess. Your time on the planning board, we did a lot of good things, right? And
absolutely,
it's obviously continued. Omaha's a great city. There's a lot going on. People don't realize how much work the planning board members put in. It's a 7-member board, as you know, and we hand them a packet of information, probably a couple inches deep every month, and 30, 40 cases a month. First of all, it's a volunteer. We do buy you guys lunch, or bought you lunch when you were on the board, but there's a lot of work. Those folks get, like I said, a pile of reports and paper on a Thursday or Friday afternoon, and by the next Wednesday, they are sitting and making some pretty powerful decisions for our community.
Now, in all fairness, you also pay for our parking, so
well, that's true.
We'll get into that kind of stuff. But anyway, it is time for the Eagle Mortgage economic development news of the week. Eagle Mortgage is a mortgage broker who they don't just use one source. They use many lenders so they can fit you to the right lender and get the best deal for you. It's very important that you get that pre-approval letter. Holly Schneiderwind and her team, they've been going at it for 30 years plus. They're in Nebraska and Iowa. There's free consultations. Get that pre-approval letter right at 114th and Davenport. Go to eaglemortgagecompany.com, and they will serve you right. Well, there's always, Dave, seems like restaurants coming and going. Most recently, in the news, it sounds like Barrel and Vine is having some issues, or they're done. But Barrel and Vine was a concept out near 204th and Pacific Street. It had a small pool on the second floor. It was a concert venue. It was a sports bar. It was a restaurant. And then it was attached to apartments. And after a couple of years, there's some lawsuits going on with the owners and stuff. And so kind of a mess. But the good news is, and I hope the rumors are true, is that it could be a second location for a very upscale sports bar and restaurant. Have you heard anything like that?
I have not. Excuse me. I have not heard who's going there, but yeah, it'd be a great space for somebody else to occupy for sure.
It's a great location, and hopefully they'll have better management. Well,
see, Trenton, I don't have the insider information you do.
I know, but people feed it to us.
I should know things when like a building permit comes in or something.
Nothing makes me more proud than when our fearless leader, Jean Stothert, tells people that she gets her information from the Grow Omaha show. She's awesome. So anyway, here's some other news out west. Out at the West Shores Lake, my friend Frank Krejci, Century Development, his team did that lake community. Salted Edge Modern Kitchen and Bar has opened at 110 South 204th Street. It's called In a View at West Shores. A new building overlooking West Shores Lake. According to the restaurant's website, it offers both indoor and outdoor patio bars, high-end dining and one of the best wine selections Omaha has to offer. Have you ever been to an event up there?
I have not. We helped entitle that project, and it should be pretty nice. Have not been out there yet, but
so that facility that they built, I mean, it's very modern, and people talk about where to hold where to hold weddings, where to hold meetings, family reunions, what have you. And Stacy Winters and our friends at Omaha Food Lovers Facebook page, which is way over 100,000 members that are on there. One of them was kind enough to put a search app on there where you put in like the type of event you're having, the size of the group, what you're looking for, maybe the area, location, whatever, and it'll give you all these venues. It's a much needed service. Anyway, Willie Dogs, a long popular food truck business, has opened at Exarban Village's Inner Rail Food Hall. Owner Ryan Berry and his staff make all the premium hot dogs and sausages by hand. You do all your own sausage at home, do you?
Yeah, of course we do.
Okay. You've always been
like you do.
You've always been a grinder, so
right?
yeah,
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Also, there's 3 or 4 more restaurants coming to the Inner Food Rail. Yashu Thai and No Name Cafe is going to be opening next week. And then next month, Sweet Treats will be opening in the Inner Rail. Also at Exarban Village, Rub and A Priori are opening in November. And then in January, Les Macarons. So I love how they reinvigorate Exarban Village with new concepts and everything else. It's got to be expensive for some of those restaurateurs, but it's fun for us foodies to go check out what's happening there.
The Inner Rail, the whole Exarban Village development's pretty awesome, right? It's got everything you want. The Inner Rail's pretty cool. It's got a variety of restaurants, as you know, and they change out every so often. And then what they're doing on the outside in the summertime, it's pretty neat space. They've got that food court area, obviously the Inner Rail, then they've got the outside patio, and then to the north of that they've got the stage and the Airstream. It's a pretty happening place in the summertime.
So do you remember going back, and this might be before my time even in the business, 30 years, Pogue and McEwen, I think Pogue's still around, but it was Noddle Development started it and then sold the retail at One Pacific Place, and that was the quote one of the first lifestyle centers in the United States. And now we talk about mixed-use developments, on steroids. And Exarban Village has got to be the most diverse as far as uses and all that kind of stuff from the school, UNO's campus there. You've got big headquarters, with
HDR,
Blue Cross Blue Shield, HDR, Green Plains, and all this kind of stuff. And then you have students, you got all these apartments, you got the sports facility across. That's really just, and people actually wanted to have gambling casinos there.
You're right.
I think the city made the right decision, and the voters said, you know what? Let's make this healthier.
I agree. And there's Exarban Village is a model, right? And it's been replicated, and there's plans to do more, I'll say, Exarban Village type developments, and then the spinoff development around it is pretty spectacular too.
Well, and it's hard to get that much land and be able to master plan it, and I'm not picking on, maybe I am, but I don't mean to. Council Bluffs, the Mid-America Center, you don't have to comment on this, I know your position. Council Bluffs, the Mid-America Center, there's no name for that area. And I remember meeting with Iowa West Foundation several years ago, and they're all good people. And they've done some neat developments, and they've certainly put a lot of money into the community, and I'm guilty as the next one to sometimes I have a tax on the stupid and I go to the casino. But that area there, and they've tried some things, but there's no name for it. So it's more of a general question of when you they call it the Mac Center area, whatever. But there's a huge advantage when cities can master plan.
Well, yeah, master plan and market, right? So if you say Exarban Village, everybody knows where that's at.
Yeah.
And if you say the new stuff going on at Boys Town, I hate to start listing developments because there's a lot of good ones out there, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but Yeah, a lot of it has to do with identity, naming and identity, so people know what you're talking about and what's there. Yeah.
Well, and the fine folks at who's the insurance company that's doing Heartwood Preserve? Applied Underwriters.
Applied Underwriters, yeah.
So Applied Underwriters, I guess they named it out of California, but they didn't go to heartwoodpreserve.com when they were doing that development. And if you go to heartwoodpreserve.com right now, it's a holistic cemetery in Florida. So that just shows that maybe the first thing you should do is go and look at who's got the URL. But anyway, we digress. Here's another one, Veg Edible, which considers itself to be Omaha's first restaurant dedicated to all vegan, gluten-free, nut-free, and soy-free options. Plans to open in Benson at 2740 North 61st Street. The space was formerly Wonton John's and baked after dark before that. It sounds like a great place for me to get a cleanse.
Yeah, that would probably be good for you to go to, yes. And me as well.
Anyway, we didn't get to as many new things as we wanted to, but that is your development news of the week, sponsored by Eagle Mortgage Company. Go to eaglemortgagecompany.com. We're going to be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds with Dave
Fanslau.
Oh, yeah, Dave Fanslau. Dave Fanslau, Omaha Planning Director. And you're listening to KFAB, The Grow Omaha Show. And welcome back to The Grow Omaha Show, the area's only economic development and commercial real estate radio program. Brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing. I'm Trenton Maggot of NP Dodge. And Jeff Beals has the weekend off. Dave Fanslau, the Omaha City Planning Director and City Council member in the lovely city of Papillon, is joining me. Well, Dingman's Collision Center, I know them as friends, but unfortunately, I also know them as a frequent client. And Dingman's does amazing work, and I've had some fun cars and some fancy cars that sometimes need, never my fault, of course, but sometimes needs body work, and they also do mechanical work. They can change your oil, they can change your spark plugs, whatever you need. And they've got 4 area locations: Northwest, Midtown, Omaha Southwest, Papillion. I've done most of the real estate work for the last 15 years or so. And they are the best of Omaha in auto body repair every year since 2005. So Dingman's is their real name. It wasn't changed to fit the nature of their business, but love that family. So check out Dingman's when you get a chance.
So you worked on the store at 120th and Maple.
120th and Maple originally, and then they bought the convenience store next door. Yeah. And then I was most proud of finding the Cougar Lanes out there on Industrial Road, 144th and Industrial Road. And Boyd and his family did an amazing job because there's no columns in that bowling alley area. And we had the floor taken out, and the rest is history. They did a good job there. Well, David, there's so many things to talk about with you and your role at the city of Omaha. And when's the last time that Omaha did a master plan? It was, I want to say 97, and then you did another one, didn't you?
It was in the mid-90s.
Okay.
Yep, that's the last time we have done a comprehensive overall master plan for the city. Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that. You've probably heard that we are embarking on a new venture. And we're starting the wheels in motion to redo our master plan. With support.
I actually did not know that.
Oh, well, here you go.
I want to be on some. Can I be on some charrettes?
We can add you to some groups. We've got a lot of people, so a lot of it is obviously we're just getting started. But you jack around and joke about the charrettes, but it's going to be a very robust public engagement process as part of this master plan update. The mayor thinks it's a good idea. She's been supportive, obviously. I'm going to hire some new staff next year, and we're going to get rolling.
Did you have a staph infection or something?
Well, interjection, I should say.
Okay.
So, it's been mid-90s. That's not to say that it's been a stagnant document. We've added elements.
Right.
We've updated elements. We've done, as the market has shown us that we needed to adapt. So we've done quite a few revisions to the master plan. but not an overall comprehensive revision to it.
I always laugh when people, because they don't have anything to compare to apparently, but when people talk about the process of replatting or rezoning or getting something waived or whatever, and they talk about it takes a while at the city, and I have friends around the country, they would kill for what your process is and how fast things get done. I mean, even a major project, I'm thinking 3 to 4 months on most of them.
Yeah, so we have those conversations all the time. So my staff goes to dozens of meetings with developers, their representatives, homeowners, whoever, citizens, whoever might want to do something in Omaha. It's striking to me that when people come from outside the city of Omaha, say Chicago, the coast or something, and want to do a project, and we tell them our timeline, that from start to finish, 9-10 months tops, and that's from raw farm ground to filing a final plat with the Register of Deeds. It's quick.
Yeah, and they're amazed.
They are amazed, and we'll go back to the planning board and that packet of information we hand those folks. That obviously most of that goes on to city council. It's pretty efficient. It's real efficient.
You know, like Heinz came in to do the kind of agri campus, and national home builders have finally come back in, even though Celebrity is the best one and they do amazing work. There's still, I have my favorites, and but we're seeing more and more developers come here, and it keeps those folks at Noddle Company sharp and doing the best projects too, and they're all over the place. But Let me
go ahead. Let me talk for a minute. So part of that development process is the entitlement process, right? First pre-app meeting to, like I said, filing that plat or getting city council final approval. It doesn't end there, though. So once somebody gets what they want, there's the permit process, and I'll tell you, the last 10 years we've revolutionized that part of the department and the customer service that we provide. We accept everything digital now. So plans being submitted for building permits, everything's digital, everything's recorded, it's so smooth, and it's so good. Our turnaround time for single family homes is less than 2 weeks, and that, if I say 2 weeks, that is the max.
Wow.
So it's less than that.
So residential plans get approved within 2 weeks.
Yes. And I would say office, commercial, multifamily, if we have everything, if we get everything we need and it's a clean submittal and we're not doing back and forth with the architect or developer, about 4 weeks.
Eric England, Michael Carter.
They rock. They're great. I have a great staff. Eric's great, Mike's great, and there's a lot of people in the department who are very supportive and do a really good job. Yeah. I was there. I stopped in the office this morning, and there were a few of them floating around. So
let me guess.
7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, there's planning department staff in the office.
Let me guess. Dave Fanslau has been planning director for 10 years.
7.
Okay.
A little over 7.
I thought you were taking credit for the getting that thing spotless. But so the hot buttons right now are urban core, streetcar, Mutual of Omaha, Tower. Give us kind of an update. What's going on there, and before we go to break.
Well, yeah. So drive downtown, you'll see the Mutual of Omaha Tower coming out of the ground. Everybody knows that they're going to move from their midtown headquarters to downtown. $600 million project. Right, so that's great for the city and for Mutual and for all their employees. And then they're going to vacate their campus. So what does that become?
Is there any talks on who's going to do that? I know I've heard rumors, but do you think that'll be multiple developers?
Yes, there have been talks, and yes, I do know the rumors. I don't know who's all going to be involved, but it's going to be a prime piece of property to be redeveloped.
Do you think they can save most of those buildings, or do you think some of those will come down?
Well, it depends on the users. My gut tells me that some of them will come down. I'm not sure how many.
It is not inexpensive.
It would be hard to repurpose, in my opinion, a few of their existing office buildings into something different than office.
Right.
I mean, it's not. They're building a new headquarters. It's dated office. It's probably really hard to retrofit those into new uses.
So that will be along the streetcar route.
It will, yeah.
And So give us an idea of the streetcar. What should people know about the streetcar? It should be open and going around in 2026?
Yeah, about 26, maybe 27.
Okay.
Right. So, I sit on the streetcar authority with 6 other members of city staff, metro staff, and of course the head of the streetcar authority. But Yeah, so we're programming. We are Public Works was is going to be heavily involved. You know, it's a public transportation infrastructure project, so obviously that falls within Public Works' realm. People might have noticed a few weeks ago they started what they called potholing, and I know that's a bad word in this city because of all the potholes we get.
It's really investigation, right? Underground.
Yeah, so drilling down into the subsurface to find out more specific utility locations. So work has already begun, and so we're excited about it. Yeah.
Awesome. We got so much more to talk about with Dave Fanslau, Planning Director, also a City Council member in the lovely city of Papillion, Nebraska. You're listening to Trenton Magid and Dave Fanslau on Grow Omaha. KFAB. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, sponsored by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing. I am Trenton Magid. Jeff Beals has the weekend off. Dave Fanslau, the Omaha City Planning Director and Papillion City Council member, is joining me. D&M Roofing and Siding is a company that has saved my bacon, Jeff's bacon, and a lot of our clients' buildings and bacon. And they've been around since 1965. Eric Obrempt and a lot of his people are amazing at what they do, whether you're just getting repairs to your roof or preventative maintenance. They have a drone that can detect moisture and inspect your roof. They get up on there and create preventative maintenance programs. And check them out at dandmroofing.com. Highly recommend them. I am too good of a customer, but my clients also love them. Dave Fanslau, there's a gentleman that just passed away at age 89. He was actually one of my neighbors, and I'm friends with his son Joel at First National Bank. He's a lender, great guy. Jim Jansen from Kennard, Nebraska, he was a developer, 150 homes in the West Fair Acres, which is by Burke High School, 120th to 127th Street, really an upscale area, and also 200 acres in the Old Mill Office Park area. And after he was a prolific and successful developer, Jim Jansen went on and served in the legislature 12 years, 1994 to 2006. And I met him a couple times, and just a sweet guy. I know that he kind of predates both of us.
Yeah.
But I wish his family the best in their time of sorrow, and I know that they'll have great memories of Jim Jansen. So rest in peace, my friend, and thank you for your contributions. Also, he's the father-in-law of...
Jim was the father-in-law of the city's finance director, Steve Curtis.
Excellent.
So Steve Curtis and his wife, Jill, are good friends of ours. And, yeah, I never got to meet Jim, but obviously I know Steve and Jill well, and, yeah, we wish them the best, and I believe the services are Monday.
So thank you, Jim. Data centers. Everybody hears about data centers. Now, Omaha is finally getting a piece of the action in a big way, and Omaha proper doesn't have a lot, and your zoning jurisdiction doesn't have a lot of industrial ground left. And it seems like that Blair High Road, Highway 133, is where the industrial is going. Yeah. And out at Highway 133 and State Street is Google. It's got to be 300 acres, and they might be growing it and stuff like that. Tell us about that project and how that came about with the city.
Yeah, they approached us a few years back, and it was one of those deals when they first come in, they want to tell you who they are and what they're going to do. But
was there a project name?
I think it was Project Blue Sky.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. You know, we get all these.
So Yahoo in 2008 was Cowbell, which was the best.
Yeah. So, they come in, and it didn't take us too long to figure out that it was probably a data center, and we did our little research, and we probably knew the Google name before it was publicly announced. But, yeah, they are in full development mode out there. They're grading. I'm not sure if they're put up any structures. I know OPPD is going to put a substation up there to support that data center, just like they have down in Papillion and probably over in Council Bluffs as well. But yeah, it's pretty massive, and it's moving along. And
you said that Mayor Stothert said that Omaha is like the biggest footprint of data centers anywhere?
Yeah, we've got the biggest biggest presence of the cloud here in the metro area in the world.
So Omaha, and then not to mention, they're not data centers, but out at 72nd and State, Amazon has a big last mile distribution center.
Right.
I think that's in operation now.
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, and so Google alone has like maybe 1,100 acres or more, or is buying more just south of Council Bluffs. Mm-hmm. They've got your hometown, Papillion. There's so much going on, and let's go over to Papillion because you've lived there for 25 years, and Papillion seems to be getting the data center central. I mean, you got Facebook, which is probably on phase 7 or something like that. They built a private highway bridge.
They did, yeah, to connect the two sites from east to west.
Over Highway 50.
Correct.
You've got Google, you've got, what was the insurance company? Travelers Insurance up there. Is that FedEx in your jurisdiction too? I believe so. That's huge.
Yeah. So all those data centers came on before I was involved real deep in Papillion. But yeah, there's a big footprint of data centers, obviously along Highway 50.
But Omaha has finally come into its own for big industrial warehouses. R&R has built a bunch of those, a couple different campuses. There's some other competitors that are up there that are building nice warehouses. And that market, basically, we've gone from like $4 when I started 30 years ago per square foot for rent, just to give you a comparison, to about over $8 on some of these because
double.
They're so expensive to build. But it's 30 years, and so.
I'll jump in real quick. Yeah, everything's kind of secular, right? So we built a whole bunch of industrial decades ago, and now it's that's some of that's dated. Some of the users want higher ceilings, bigger bays. So it's industrial's really picked up.
Anything else we should know about Papillion?
It's just like Omaha. It's busy. There's a lot going on in Papillion. I like to say that Papillion benefits from Omaha, and Omaha benefits from Papillion and the surrounding communities. So I think the two cities play well together. They both support. Here in Omaha, we have a lot of the venues that a lot of the other surrounding communities come to visit. You go to the zoo, you go to the ballpark, you go to the Quest Center, you go to the Giles Museum. Everything that we have here going on in Omaha benefits Papillion, and obviously the population base in Papillion benefits Omaha. And
thank you to Mayor David Black in Papillion, who does a wonderful job. So we appreciate that. Well, we need to take our final break of the hour, and we're going to come back, and we're going to have the Turner Construction Lightning Round. We're going to have the Noddle Development Spotlight, and you're listening to Dave Fanslau and Trenton Magid right here on the Grow Omaha Show, 1110 KFAB. See you in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by D&M Roofing and Dingman's Collision Center. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I've got too many papers here, and the Turner Construction, who takes care of our lightning round, is building for the future. They have a plethora of employees here. They are doing a huge project, Dave, in Bellevue at the Air Force Base.
Okay.
And one of the largest construction companies in the world, but here they act like a local company. You see them at the Chase Bank locations. You see them all over town, and we appreciate their sponsorship of the lightning round. There's a lot of stuff we didn't get to earlier in the show because we were talking about all kinds of meaty subjects. Also, let's start with the lightning round with the Noddle Development Spotlight on their timber building at 1501 Mike Fahey Street. That's a cool building, 115,000 square feet, 4 levels, and there's going to have a pocket park there. How does that mass timber, was the city involved?
We were, yeah. So my superintendent of permits and inspection, Anna Bezpoyazny, worked with Noddle's group and their construction team and other city staff members. Omaha Fire had to get involved. But yeah, mass timber's kind of a newer technology.
There's still
Omaha.
Steel involved, but what are the advantages of mass timber that you know?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the construction guy. but I don't know if it's cheaper than steel. If it holds, I can't imagine that it holds up.
It'll definitely look cool.
It surely looks cool, and so it can be an open. Instead of hiding the steel, the timber is exposed. From what I've seen, it's a really nice building, and so my staff and Anna worked with the Noddle Group to permit that, and so it's an evolving technology that will only continue to get better and taller, I'll say.
That's cool. Very cool. JetLinks Aviation, a global personal aviation company headquartered in Omaha, has opened its newly constructed private terminal on the east side of Epley Airfield. The 60,000 square foot private hangar is equipped with 28-foot doors, capable of housing the largest business jets. They're now I think it's the third largest such company. There's NetJets that Warren Buffett's involved with.
Yep.
So congratulations.
Project we also worked on with them. So and they had their ribbon cutting ceremony earlier this week that Mayor Stothert was at.
And they can keep like 25 jets in there.
It's large, yeah.
I'm very impressed with the Walker family who started that, and it's homegrown. Something I'm looking forward to, American Airlines will resume its seasonal nonstop service from Omaha to Miami International Airport on November 6th. For the first time, American will service the route using a larger aircraft, the A319 aircraft, and I know that's good because my wife and I would go down to Columbia, and for some reason when we go through Miami, they make us like stop in Dallas or Charlotte or something like that. But yeah, it's weird. I'd like to have that direct flight. Would be awesome. Another fun tidbit is that Omaha Box Office Magazine recently featured the Barstow family of Omaha. They are the owners of ACX Cinemas, which has 6 theaters, including ACX Cinema 12 on 204th Street and Exarban Cinema. So they keep growing outside of Omaha. And have you been to the Backlot restaurants?
I have not. No,
they're good at Exarban and out west.
It's good to see that industry still doing well, too.
Yeah, absolutely. A project that I was involved with, a lease project, Dr. Leslie Koenig has opened Waybridge Clinic in the Lakeside area at 168th and Center Street. The clinic offers IV ketamine and breakthrough treatment for depression, PTSD, anxiety, and chronic pain. So if you need it, that is a good service. She was fun to work with, so I appreciate her business. We have, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? We got all kinds of things over here in my mess of things. Dirty Dough. This is something that in La Vista over by where they're building that Smash Park. Have you seen that concrete monster?
I have, yeah. It's enormous.
It looks like a prison, so it'll be interesting to see. We're talking about the Southport West development where Cabela's is, Costco. Dirty Dough has opened a new retail strip center in Southport Parkway in La Vista. It is a fast-growing gourmet cookie chain from Arizona. There's also a sit-down restaurant. I can't say what it is because I don't know if it's public yet, but it'd be the second location for a very good hamburger-type place, and that'll be on the end cap right next to Starbucks. There's like 3 or 4 hotels planned. You got the multi-sports complex over there. There's a Residence Inn, a Holiday Inn Express going up there, and I think there might be a Home 2 Suites.
There is, yeah.
Right by the Smash Park.
Very active area. Those soccer fields are lit.
Yeah, I sold that
18 hours a day.
About 8 years ago. I sold that 300. It was like God, what was that? It was like 400 acres for the McDermott family. Great people. I've worked a ton over there, and it seems like that area is just getting finished off. Mm-hmm. And you got the accessibility to the interstate. You've got the convention center. Mayor Doug Kindig over there is a busy guy. Some bad news in the restaurant business. Noli's Pizzeria will permanently close its Gretna location. I don't think it was there very long at 11832 Standing Stone Drive today. The local pizza restaurant plans to open a new location at 6307 Center Street, just south of Exarban Village. So that's good. It seems like pizza places, cookie places are the hot things now.
Yeah.
The new yogurt shops.
Yeah, Noli's was in the Interrail. So they hustle left there. And,
yeah. So they're going to go. They're going to go open up
for them.
a bigger place.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Ross Dress for Less is now open at 717 South 72nd Street, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart. The California-based discount retailer now has 6 metro area stores. Over in Council Bluffs, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, another deal I worked on, had the ribbon-cutting ceremony this week for a new martial arts school at 3030 West Broadway. They've really cleaned up West Broadway. I don't know if you've been over there lately, but stamped concrete and
it's good, and dare I say, they're looking at that vacated rail line for transportation options too. So we can talk about that in the future too.
Excellent. The Sarah Baker Hansen. Do you ever read the restaurant reviews on our newsletter?
Of course I do.
I'm sure you do. But anyway, Sarah Baker Hansen does great reviews every other week. Let It Fly is a sports bar down in the Capital District, and there's a lot of rumors that they're going to go out and find a place out west. And what's unique about it is she said that it's really upscale gourmet food, and we appreciate her. And also, Cheer Athletics is the sponsor of Grow Omaha Eats with Sarah Baker Hansen, so thank you for that. Has the music started yet? I don't have my headphones on. Okay. So anyway, you are listening to Trenton Magid and David Fanslau. We appreciate you coming on once again. Will you come back? Because there's a lot of stuff we missed.
I think I need to. I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about. And yeah, absolutely. I'll come back anytime you need me.
Absolutely. Jeff and I would love to have you. Thank you for listening. We'll be here next week on 1110 KFAB.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.